Neevesknives. I'm Jared, and I'm here with one of the moderators, ZOROASTER. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good. How's everybody doing tonight?
It seems like we got a pretty big crowd already starting. Don't forget to hit the like button. And thank you guys for joining us. We're going to talk some EDC knife stuff. And you guys can join in however you guys want. So you live in Miami, right?
Yep, Miami, Florida. Kendall, to be exact.
Sounds beautiful, man. Sounds beautiful. I got family down there. Um, I'd love to move down there. We planned on actually moving down there, but with the economy crashing the way it is, we just figured it's not the best move yet. We'll see how it goes because we had a good year last year, but that doesn't mean we're going to have a good year this year. So we'll see how it goes.
What part of Florida?
Probably within an hour from Orlando because I have family all around that area within an hour. So
Okay.
basically every direction I have a family member.
Yeah,
And
Orlando's a nice spot.
what's that?
Orlando's nice.
Yeah, it's cool. So I mean I've been down there a bunch of times. I went down there one time and spent a whole month just as a vacation. Brought a bunch of people with me. My uncle's got a condo down there, so he just let us live it up. And I stayed until I was broke. I literally just brought every dime I had and stayed there till I was broke. I actually got in a bunch of trouble on the way back. Wound up going to jail, getting locked up in North Carolina, and all kinds of shit. But yeah, crazy time. So what knives do you have sitting around you?
Um, Actually, I've sold a lot of them recently.
Okay.
But I do
Well,
have.
let me ask you this. What style of knife is your style? Like what brands do you like and like what kind of style of knife do you prefer?
For EDC, mainly stainless steels.
Okay.
Being in Florida, they're
Yeah.
easier to take care of.
Yeah.
Um,
You have a lot of problems with steels there?
Mostly they do pretty good as long as you oil them.
Right.
Funny enough, D2 doesn't rust as much as people would think in Florida. It'd be a non-stainless, but
As long as you're taking
K390,
care of it.
yeah, for
But
sure.
people what they do is they'll use it and they won't dry it off, which is the most important thing. Even if you just take your shirt and wipe it off, like drying it off is so important.
Even if it's a user, I'm so OCD. I have to dry it off like 10 times before anything.
Seems logical. Says, yeah, the whole YouTube thing is very finicky, lots of ups and downs to the revenue stream. Yeah, well, especially like right now, because the economy is tanking. So since it is, you have because remember, we don't solely rely on ads, but for advertisements, that's companies paying for ads, right? So good advertisements are not wanting to pay because nobody's buying services right now. So you're less likely to get good ads. That means that you're going to take a cut in pay. But luckily, we don't solely rely on just that. We also do affiliate marketing and stuff. So, anyways, Joe says D2 certainly people's body chemistry more rust sometimes. Yeah, that's true. I've heard of
Yep.
some people just saying just their sweat can rust, and so everybody's going to be different, and also the things and places you go is going to be different. You know, I'm
Oh,
sure
for
if
sure.
somebody works on a dock, right, D2 is probably the worst thing they could have, or not worst, but one of. So what kind of style though, besides the steel, like do you prefer frame locks, access locks, drop points,
I like it
Persians?
for I like a variety of everything. I feel
Okay.
that I like the Spyderco's leaf shape, drop points. Yeah, just miscellaneous really. I have
Yeah.
like one of everything depending on the task or what I'm cutting.
Do you have a company that you tend to go to the most, or
Spyderco.
Spyderco? Yeah, it's a good one to go to. Uh, I think that's especially right now. It's common sense, like especially if you really like steels and things like that. Spyderco is definitely the way to go. Now, if you like titanium and all that stuff, then it's not. But yeah, if your big deal is lockup, and steel, Spyderco's the way to go. I am meticulous about drying off my knives. I use them to cook, so rust on my knives will get in my food. I don't think my doctor wanted me to have that much. Yeah, definitely want to keep them clean. Where is the kukri in your collection? Do you have a kukri?
Unfortunately, bro.
What are
I
you
know
doing?
Logical
What are you doing
disappointed.
with your life, man?
I'm sorry, Logical. I'm trying.
You just let him down. You should have just lied and said, "Oh, I left it in the other room. I'd go get it, but I can't."
I'm sure he has one he can send me if you.
I'm sure he does. High carbon steel is also pretty bad too. Yeah, any carbon steel is going to be pretty bad or can be bad. But like I said, take care of it. You're going to be fine. Oil your knives. Let it. So what I like to do is to prevent and make sure none of my knives rust. I'll take them like every couple months, and I'll take 3-in-1 oil, and I'll drip it on there and wipe it all on there. So then it coats in oil. Then I wait 5 minutes, and then I wipe it off and dry it off completely, because the oil is a penetrating oil. 3-in-1 means clean, penetrates, and I think prevents rust. So it penetrates the steel and gets down into basically the pores of the steel and prevents moisture from getting down in there. So then, throughout the week you're using it. It doesn't matter, just every couple months, do that oil thing and you'll be good.
What oil do you use to prevent?
It's called 3-in-1. Literally, it's a number 3, IN 1, 3-in-1. It's like $5. It's super, super cheap, but it works so good because, and also another thing is that if you already have a knife that's kind of rusty, you can use that to clean it. You just have to keep applying it. Like you put a little bit on there, let it sit for 5 minutes, scrub it off. Apply it.
3-in-1's the name of the brand?
Yep. Well, I don't know. That's the name of the oil. I can pull it up really quick. We'll just grab it right now.
I remember last time Scab from Choir Boys Cutlery was on, he recommended a blade paste that he uses. It's called a Blade Guard, I believe.
Yeah. It is actually called, the name of it is 3-in-1 multi-purpose. I'll pull it in here really quick so everybody can see it. But yeah, I've used this shit for years. So, but yeah, right there, 3-in-1 oil. It went up in price to $7, but it used to be like between $3 and $5. So fuck it. Everything's going up, right? I heard that mirror polish helps protect a steel from rusting. Same with Cerakote or any other coatings. The worst finish is satin, I believe. No, the worst finish is bead blast. So satin is the second. So stonewash would be the best. Satin would be second, then bead blast. So bead blast is the worst. That's the most susceptible, is bead blast. Now, yes, polishing does prevent or helps prevent rust, and the reason why is because there's no pores, right? It's a slick surface like a mirror. What makes knives rust is the moisture getting down into the pores of the metal, like down, and sitting there, and then eventually starts rusting. And then once it starts, it just kind of takes over. But yeah, coatings always help. DLC, Cerakote, all those definitely help. 95% of my D2, 95% of my D2, no problems. I've had some high-end stainless rust, even though tons of factors involved. Just keep lubes. Yeah, usually the good stainless steels don't rust, but if you don't take care of them, they're gonna rust just the same. Like, it's just how it goes. It's steel. If it's steel, it's gonna rust if you don't take care of it. There's only a couple steels that aren't gonna do that, and that's probably like LZ200N, H1, Van X, MagnaCut, things like that. But even MagnaCut, if you left it untreated for a long time and used it with corrosive things, it's going to do it too. And by the way, thank you to everyone involved with the giveaway I won the other night. Good for you, man, and congratulations. I'm glad to hear in the lives. And by the way, speaking of giveaways, really quick, while I'm thinking about it, to the patrons, I thought about what we're gonna do. So what we're gonna do for the giveaway this month, which was technically last month, we're just late on it. I'm going to let the three winners, because we're going to do 3 winners, pick whatever they want from Mojave Outdoors. So whatever they want from Mojave Outdoors, and if it winds up being a budget knife, you can just grab 2 things. So you can either grab 1 premium or 2 budgets. So that's what we're going to do. We'll probably do that giveaway here really soon, but You guys will just have to pick out what you want, and then we'll mail it to your address. So
better sign up for that Patreon, guys.
Right, you better sign up for the patron. We have credits with Mojave Outdoors, so we're just gonna spend them on the patrons. So which is cool because we get the credits from our affiliate. We don't get paid from Mojave, we get credits. So basically it's just money on their site. So we can just give it away, we could sell it, we could trade it, we can do whatever we want with it. But you know, this way it makes it to where all you guys that spent money with our link through Mojave Outdoors, you know, somebody or three of you's got a chance to win a lot more back. So it's cool. So what knives do you have sitting around you right now? Like what are a couple of your everyday carries?
I really like the Native.
Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it, bud.
Blade HQ Native and M4.
That's a Blade HQ exclusive.
Yep.
M4.
Yep.
Nice. Oh yeah.
And then the one I use the most, which is the most, I mean, it's not rusted, but it does have some rust spots in it, is my Indela K390.
Nice. Oh yeah. No, K390 is great, but K390 will rust. That isn't a steel that will patina. It will rust. A lot of those steels will patina more than rust. Like they kind of get like a dark haze.
Yeah,
over
exactly.
them. Yeah, and a lot of people like that. Like some people literally won't clean it because they want that.
It gets cloudy, and it if you get your finger grease on it, it has like a nice bluish purple swedge on it sometimes.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I thought about doing that with my K390, but I don't know. Maybe because I do think it looks cool sometimes. Sometimes it looks ugly though. Doing a little maintenance on my American Blade Works Model 1. Nice. Yeah, I like the American Blade Works knives. I think or I'd love to see him do another model, do a new model, like a complete new design. I know he sells his knives pretty quickly though, so you know, you got to make what works, but hopefully we'll see something new out of him pretty soon because I'd love to see what else he could do. A good natural earned patina on carbon steel is fire. No, I agree. And that's how everybody, like the old timers, you know, they used to walk around with the slip joints or still do. You know, that's how all their knives were. You know, like you'd see an old timer pull out his knife, pull out his slip joint, he'd pop it open, and you'd see that blade would be mostly black. Jared, he's doing a Model 2 Warncliffe. No shit. I did not know that. Thank you for bringing that to my attention. Hopefully I'm able to get one. That's awesome. Yeah. I would definitely be lined up right away to get one of those. I left my Terrain 365 Mako outside for like 4 months by accident. No rust. Yeah, but that's Terravantium though. That can't rust. So that's different because it has no steel in it. That's technically not an iron, so that's why it can't rust. Kind of like a lot of things, like even like brass can't rust. It can patina, but it can't rust. Copper can't rust. It can patina, but it can't rust. Titanium, you know, aluminum, you know, things like that because they don't have iron in them.
Speaking of copper, I actually have a solid copper nugget that my grandma brought from Cuba. I have no idea where it is though.
What is it, like a mined nugget?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Oh yeah. I've made a lot of money off of copper back in the day.
With my uncle's an electrician, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. AJ says just hand sharpened and put a mirror edge on my Chris Reeve knives and Cosi. Now I've got to strap it to a perfect mirror, so I probably won't be as active in the chat. No problem, AJ. Get her done. At least you're here. I appreciate you joining. And that reminds me, AJ, and anybody else, Chris Reeve knives, they was a GP Knives has a whole bunch of them right now. If anybody's wanting one of the Incosis, they have small Incosis, they have a bunch of different models. Just go and check it out. GP Knives, it's linked down in the description. There's a ton of them there. I was gonna make a post about it. The last time I made a post, everybody was bitching about how much money they are, but it's like the motherfuckers sell out. So why, you know, it's like if you don't want to buy it, you don't have to buy it. But the point is, though, is that a lot of people do, you know.
GP Knives have some really nice exclusives. I love it.
Yeah, I love GP knives. My problem with them right now, don't get me wrong, I love them. I'm blessed to have them as an affiliate, but it drives me nuts how much they don't have, because
Right.
I want to link so much more from their channel or their page, but I can't because they just don't have it. Like they're like the first ones to sell out of things. They're the first ones to, like, every site, like if I go to and like look up a knife, GP is like the last one that'll have it. They'll have some USA made knives, but in many cases they'll sell out of one or two of them. So then it's like, why would I link it to their site when the
Of
other
course.
site has every one available?
Right.
So it's just it gets frustrating because I want to link them more.
I
Thank you,
really
Kyle. There's my GP link right there for you guys if you guys want to check it out.
thanks, Kyle.
But and they do have some cool stuff on there. Don't get me wrong; they got great stuff on there. It just seems like there's like the stuff that is newly coming out, unless if it's Wii or Civivi, they usually don't get it, at least right away.
They have a really nice Rex 45 native exclusive with the white scales. It's only $100.
Did Jared saw any Cadillac converters, Forerunners back in the day? He has, mostly off of trucks though. But yeah, I've done that.
No
wasn't
Toyota
like,
Priuses?
I mean, I've done it. I wasn't huge into it, but I also like I dealt with a lot of machinery my whole life, you know, like family members having cars and trucks, and like sometimes like it wasn't even an illegal thing, it was just junking it, you know, scrapping the
Right.
parts, so you break
Cool.
down the car. I remember one time, and this was illegal, I guess, but we took a car and stripped it, like just head to toe, bone dry, took all the wires out, took everything apart, and just literally recycled it all part by part, because the repo man was after it. So I was like, get rid of that motherfucker. Because the person that bought it, what happened was the person that bought it, the person that sold it to him didn't pay it off or whatever, and lied to him, took the money from him. My buddy took the car, and then all of a sudden the repo man's after it. So he got screwed over. So he's like, screw that, I'm getting my money out of this. So it worked out. Cut the car literally in half though with a concrete saw. I've never used anything other than one of those drag through sharpeners. I think you're being funny. If I want to step up and get a proper sharpener that assists me with angles that, wait, what could I get that won't break the bank? So first off, if you're not joking, because I feel sorry for your knives right now, and I'm not trying to be mean, but yeah, pull through sharpeners, they don't sharpen your edges. So what they do, for anybody who doesn't know, and I said a long time ago I was going to make a video on this, and I still haven't, but I should. A pull through sharpener micro bevels your edge. That's what it does. And when you do it a couple times, it's just throwing 3 or 4 micro bevels on your edge. Now the problem with it is not the first time you do it. The problem with it is that edge is not going to last very long, because it's not a sharpened edge. It's a micro bevel. So
Right.
it's going to go dull quick. Now, if you do it again, it's going to go quicker than the last time. If you do it again, it's going to go dull quicker than the last time. So eventually you'll get to the point to where it just won't hold an edge at all, because it's just micro beveling it. So it's basically just tearing micro bevels down the apex. So what I would recommend though is, if you want one that won't break the bank, you got 3 options. You got one, which would be a Lansky, but make sure you get the one with the base with the diamond plates. The next thing is a Work Sharp precision guided sharpener. I would recommend, if you get that, get the base clamp and the extra and the aftermarket stone holder. I have a complete video on this stuff, so you can go watch a video, my Work Sharp precision guided sharpener videos. I have like 4 videos on it, so you can see like just the stock model versus the attachments. And then the next thing would be, if you have $200, get a KME. Just go with the KME. Make sure you get the diamonds. Make sure you get the base and the whole system. But that, you know, that might be breaking the bank to you. So if that is, then the Work Sharp's only like $50. Otherwise, get some stones and some angle guides and freehand it. You could do that easily for like $20. Leo, sorry, bud. Let me just grab this. Thank you for the 2 bones. Poppy Zorro looking good. Thank you for the 2 bones, man. I appreciate it. What were you gonna say, man?
No, I love my KME. I want to upgrade to the Vinev stones, but
what stones are you using right now? The diamonds that come with the KME? Yeah. No, that's still good though. a perfect setup for most people. Now, obviously, if you get the Veneves, it brings you one more step up.
Right.
But there's no reason to get Veneves if you haven't gotten good with regular diamond plates, because the most important part of the sharpening is going to be your first stone, not the second, not the third, the first stone. If you can't get a ridiculously sharp edge from the first stone, you don't even move on to the next stones. But yeah, KMEs are awesome, and they're basically the best you can get for the $200 mark.
For sure.
He says, I only have a diamond rod. Is that enough if you don't let your edge get too dull to keep the edge fairly sharp? It is okay. You can definitely sharpen on a diamond rod. Most diamond rods are 1200 grit. That's the problem. So the problem is that you're using a finishing stone grit to sharpen. So that's not that good. Basically, like what I'm trying to say is I wouldn't start, if I was going to sharpen right now, I would not start at 1200 grit. I would start at like 300 grit, 150 to 300 grit to sharpen my edge. Then I would move on to 600 and then finish on either 600 or 1200 grit. So you can tune your edge up with that. And if you really wanted to, you could sharpen with it, but it's going to take a while. That's the problem. You're going to spend a lot of time trying to, it's kind of like when you think of it, think about like even just like sanding a table, right? If you were going to sand down a table that has scratch marks in it, you're taking down a whole layer, right? So you don't want to start off with a polishing wheel, right? You want to start off with a coarse, aggressive sandpaper wheel and sand it all down, then go to the next grit and the next grit and the next grit until you get to a very fine grit, and then you polish it. But you don't start off with a polish or with a fine grit because you'll be there all day, right? So that's the good way to think about it. Think about it the same way you'd sand down the table is the same way you want to think about sharpening an edge. Bear Arm says, I got the base Workshop Precision and a 4-inch DMT 1200 and 8000 grit, plus the stone holder, also the brace to keep the clamp stable. Much nicer system. Yes. Yeah, that's the way to go. The only thing, as long as you got the that stone holder attachment and that clamp, that system's awesome. So here, while we're talking about sharpening stuff, check out what I just bought. So I've been requested this video many times and I just never made it. So for whetstones, for Japanese whetstones, so I bought several packs of King whetstones because those are the ones that I would recommend to people for the Japanese whetstones. King whetstone. So I got 3 different packs of them. We'll be doing a video on them soon. Yeah, pretty cool. So they're very affordable stones, but they work good. I've heard great things about them. I mean, obviously there's much more expensive Japanese water stones, but those are for good Japanese water stones. Those are good, but they're not going to be good. They're going to be good for carbon steels and simple steels, not for super steels. Jared, are there any extended knife clamps for the precision adjust? Yes, there is. Go to here. I'm gonna hold on. Give me 1 second. See if I can find it. I don't know if I can find them, but I'll look. Yes, there's somebody that so if you go into my video with the attachments, there's an Etsy link, or there should be an Etsy link. The guy with that Etsy page has all those attachments, including extended knife clamps. He's got one that's literally a magnetic one that you can put in there, and so it'll pull your blade out, and then you just use a magnet to put it down. He's got a bunch of shit for that system. Like literally, he's taking that system over the top with all the attachments he has. I can't remember his channel name. He recently started a YouTube channel where he shows a lot of the stuff, but if you go to one of my aftermarket videos, my aftermarket attachment videos for the Workshop, I think I have his Etsy store linked down in the description. What makes a steel a super steel? Is it a top 10 list or is it a performance based thing? So I would say anything over S35, anything like, so S35 VN, S30, S35, anything with edge retention more than that, because basically it's going to be just about the carbide value. That's what it's going to be about, because different steels have different kinds of carbides and then also a different amount and different sizes. So the problem with some of these stones, sharpening them, is that they don't sharpen the carbides, and they take the steel from around the carbides, and then the carbides crack. Now, some people will say, well, diamonds crack carbides. Not at fine grits. They might do it at like 100 grit or 150 grit. But when you work your way up with a fine grit to a fine grit, they're not cracking the carbides, at least to my knowledge. But the aluminum oxide stones and natural stones definitely do. They make them shatter and then they kind of fall out. But there's always new research being done. There's always new shit evolving. So especially with the microscopes we have now, where we can really see down to the grain structure of the steels. Thank you for the info. I'm just scared to mess up my knives of sharpening. I use a strop, but you can only do so much with a strop. Yeah, you can only do so much. You want to have a hone, so you want to have a strop, a hone, and you definitely want to have a sharpening stone or a sharpening system of some sort. I would say get a tri-way. Literally just buy a tri-way. You can get one for like under $50. It'll have 3 stones all in one. You can get a diamond, an aluminum oxide, and a natural stone, or 3 diamonds all in one. Anyways, you can get one of those and then get the little angle guides that you can rest on the stone. That way all you have to do is hold that angle going across, but at least you can repeat it every time. And that'll get you going really good. And that's very, very cheap. That's a whole system for like under $50. Even with the little angle guides. Guess I'm gonna try that work sharp pivot response, try abrasive, doohickey for fitted bounce. Yeah, it's a good system for the money. I mean, it's the cheapest, best system you can get for the money. Do you have any affiliate sharpening tri-way links? Yes, go down in my store. Go to my Jared, it's Neevesknives store. It's in the top of the description. Just click that. You can go right to all the stones and systems I recommend. Tri-ways are in there. And thank you for using my affiliates. I appreciate it. Hey, Jared, I'm looking to service and maintain my Veneve stones. What would you recommend for removing the steel particles? Silicon carbide powder. So you get silicon carbide powder, and you need like either a piece of tile or a piece of glass, something that's flat. You can buy actually a flattening plate. It comes with like a ring around the side, so stuff doesn't roll off, so moisture will stay in the middle. But put a little water on the plate, whatever plate you wind up getting, and put the carbide powder on there, just a little cap full, and then you can flatten your stone. Otherwise, what you should have is like a Nagura stone for just conditioning it. So you want like a little aluminum oxide stone of some sort, doesn't matter really what kind, any sort of a little aluminum oxide stone, so that you can take your stones and scrub them. And that's just to clean them in between sharpenings. So like say if you're going to go and sharpen 2 knives, you clean the stone right before you go to the next one. But when they start dishing, when they start becoming where they're not cutting very well, that's when you use the silicon carbide powder and you reflatten them, and then you can bring them out just like brand new. You can go with I got 60 grit silicon carbide powder and it works great. I use my Lansky coarse natural stones to condition my Veneves. Right, I've used that too. Yeah, you can, if you have Lansky stones that are aluminum oxides, those will work good. If you have any sort of aluminum oxide stone, even if you have a flat bench stone that's aluminum oxide, that'll work. You can use, like I said, Nagura stones. You can use any sort of wet stone, because you just don't want to use diamonds. That's the point. You want to clean diamonds. You want to clean diamonds with aluminum oxide, and you want to clean aluminum oxide with diamonds. But you can also clean aluminum oxide with aluminum oxide, but you don't want to clean diamonds with diamonds. Jared, where can we purchase Veneve stones for the KME? Go in my link, go in my store. Go in my store. There should be a Veneve link down there that'll take you to Gritomatic. Gritomatic has the 1x4s, because that's what you want. You want the 1x4 stones, like the greater dogs or the dogs, or the single-sided ones, because the dogs are double-sided. All right, so ZOROASTER.
Yes.
What knife were you carrying today?
That would have to be the Para 3 lightweight GP Knives exclusive and Rex 45 Stormtrooper.
And Rex 45?
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah! How you like that steel?
I love it. I haven't sharpened it yet, but I haven't had to.
Do you have a favorite steel?
Probably the K390.
K390, yeah. It's hard to beat. That's most people that are into steels. That's a lot of people's favorite steel. It's just hard to beat, man, especially if you sharpen. Once you start sharpening, you really feel and get to experience like a super steel, right? Because a lot of times your expectations of a super steel are let down by some of the super steels out there.
Of
But when
course.
you get a well heat treated K390,
Oh man.
fuck yeah.
You guys really have to try it. If you haven't tried Spider Coast K390, it's
Oh,
insane.
yeah.
My uncle's an electrician, and sometimes he'll bring 100 pounds of copper wire, and I'll strip it with this, and it'll still be sharp.
No shit.
It'll still be sharp at the
That's
end.
crazy.
Maybe some microchipping.
Yeah,
Now,
right. That's what you'd expect is some microchipping, but K390 is plenty tough.
the M4, on the other hand, I
Yeah.
hit the wire with this. Oh, it's gonna get chipped up all
Yeah.
over the place.
I like M4 though. I like M4.
I like
I like
M4
4V.
too, but yeah,
Um,
for
Edgy
wiring,
American says Rex 45 seems more aggressive than M4 to me, but I know they're similar.
right?
I seen recently, and I didn't know that it was happening. Otherwise, I probably would have probably tried to join. But OCD for EDC Justin is doing like a sharp knife test thing for M4 steel. So it has to be M4. Everybody sharpens up a knife, sends the knife there, and then they check it on the best tester and see who did the sharpest edge. But I think I only have one knife in M4 that I can think of. I might have a couple. I just can't think of the other ones. I got plenty of 4V. I do have M4, but only one knife though. Rex 45 is not very tough. No, it's not. I am personally a fan of 8CR for $10, and it will burn through the toughest packing tape. Use what you. I mean, yeah, whatever. I mean, as long as you're getting it for cheap, 8CR is fine. You just don't want to spend a bunch of money for it, right? It's like just like with anything, you know, like you get what you pay for, and 8CR for $10, that's good. That's good to go. You're just gonna have to sharpen it more often. And if you're not afraid to sharpen your knives, 8CR is fine for you. You're just be sharpening more. And if you enjoy sharpening, then it'll be a great steel for you because you'll be doing it a lot. Arrowhead says, Jared, I'll send you an M4 knife so you can sharpen and submit. I think I'm already too late. I don't even know when they're pulling it, but I appreciate it though. But I don't know when they're pulling it. I'm hoping I can jump on the next one that they do so that I can catch it.
I think you missed the member chat.
You see it on your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not in the thing. Hold on, let me pull up. I gotta pull it up over here.
It's just Boink.
Normally I have Kara watching, but she's not watching tonight. She let us down. Let us down.
How could you, Kara?
How could you? Okay, hey, Q Ball. He's been a member for 12 months. Part of the Rockstars. 1 year. Holy crap. That year went by fast, as did my cashola. Here's to another year, Jared and Kara. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, and I appreciate everybody who supports and is a member. Formula One has been a member for 4 months. Also a Rockstar. You're the man. Thank you. Both of you guys, man. You guys are fucking Rockstars. That's awesome. If you guys don't know, that's the top tier members. So that means like they're pretty much top tier dudes. That's what that means. That means they're somewhat, you can call them a badass, basically. That's what they are. So thank you guys for the support. Joel says, he was talking to Edgy American. Ben hammering Spyderco 8CR 17 degrees is no issues yet. I would have done it at 15 degrees, but no, it's not that it has a problem. It's that it just doesn't hold an edge sharp for a long time. But if you can sharpen it, it's no big deal. As long as you can sharpen. But yeah, so like Cedric Canada did a test. I'm not going to give you guys all the fucking results because you guys can go watch his video. But he basically tested, I think, 420HC or 440C, something like that, against some of the top tier steels. And you're talking the difference between 100 feet of cutting rope, or sorry, not 100 feet, sorry, excuse me, 100 cuts of sisal rope or 1,000. So that was the difference. So 100 to over 1,000. Big difference. Do you guys hear that? Do you hear that? Is that you?
Hear what?
You don't hear that? It's like brrrr. You don't hear that? Don't worry about it. It might be just something coming over the microphone. It sounds crazy though. Chris Jones with the 5 bones. I'm gonna watch the chick in the Amazon demo try to cut her hand off to make me feel better about my beginner skill set. Thank you for the 5 bones, Chris. Somebody sent me, I can't remember who it was, but somebody sent me a video the other day, and it was a girl that has like a YouTube channel where she like tests Amazon stuff or tests things, and she had bought some of these cheap whetstones from the Amazon. And I know exactly what stone it is that she grabbed, and they're super cheap. But she grabbed it and she's trying to sharpen a knife. She starts with the high grit. So she doesn't even start with the one she's supposed to start with, or at least I don't think she did. Or maybe she just called it the wrong one. But she 100% that knife was far duller when she got done than it was when she started. And I was laughing because I know for a fact that knife got duller through her process. She never even gave it a chance to reprofile. It was almost like she thought, just scratching the surface a few times was going to give her a sharp edge or something. You got to take time, and you got to be able to understand and watch your edge bevel get created. Because that's the whole thing. It's not like you're just going to jump on the stone and rub it a few times and your edge is going to be there. You have to physically watch that edge get built. Kind of like if I built a wall right now, right? You would see every step. You would see me build the base, and you'd see, the bricks go up to the top. Same thing with sharpening a knife. You're going to see the bevel start at the top of the bevel and work its way down to the apex. But you have to watch that process, because that's how you can identify when you get a burr, when the edge is done, when it's ready to go to the other side, so that you can get both sides nice and even, sharp, and then you can do a burr removal. Indy, thank you, brother. 20 bones, man. Thank you. Holy cow. Indy, you're the man. Thank you. 20 bones, man. That's awesome. If I miss any chat, guys, I apologize. I'm going to skip ahead. I see I'm backed up quite a bit. But man, thank you guys for the donations. It sounds like a woodpecker. So you do hear it. Did a line.
It might be my ceiling fan. Hold on, let me turn it off. You guys hear it now?
Yeah, big time. Oh, yeah.
Is it gone now?
No.
It's still there?
No. Yeah, it's still here.
It's
not you. It's something with the microphones or something. It's really weird though. The Smith's Arkansas Tri-Hone, any good? It's only $25 right now. Normally $6. So yes, it is. The problem is that. So it depends on what you're sharpening, right? That's going to be good for chef knives. It's going to be good for kitchen knives, and it'll be good for simple steels. 440C, 9CR, 8CRs, even 14C, 28M, 154CM. You could even do S35 on it, but it's going to take a while with S35. The problem with it is you don't have a coarse enough first stone. So it's going to have a soft, a hard, and then I don't remember what the third stone is on. I think it has an aluminum oxide, a soft, and then a hard. So it depends on the aluminum oxide, but no, they are good. They just, like I said, you might, depending on what type of steel, how thick the edges, you might want to get a diamond plate to reprofile first, then move to that. Because, and I'm not saying that that stone won't work. That's how I started, was literally on a stone just like that. So it will work. But you're going to spend a lot longer trying to reprofile than you would if you just had a diamond plate. But yes, it will work 100%. Jared, one question. My stop has 2 sides. One with green. My strap has 2 sides. One with green compound, the other with rough gray compound. What's the rough gray compound for? So that should be 6 micron. The green should be 3. But the thing is, though, is that in many cases they're not accurate and they don't tell you, so you don't know. But most green compound is 3 micron. Most white gray compound is 6. So, but it depends on the brand. But that's where it should be. So basically, you'd use the white and then the green. White first, or gray first, then green. The best grit edge for 20 CV. I'm sharpening my Mordax as I'm watching, and I need to know. So it's the Mordax, so it's Protex. So it depends on your angle. If you're going to go at a low angle, I don't know what angle you're sharpening at. That would be my next question. What angle are you sharpening at? But if you're sharpening at a low angle, I'd say you could take it to a mirror polish. But I would say 600 grit to be safe if you're not doing a low angle. I don't know how well Protex M390 20 CV is heat treated. If it's heat treated good, then you can get by better with a finer edge. But if not, you're going to want a medium grit edge. 20 CV is kind of like all over the board. So it does good with a mirror polish, and then it also does good with a medium grit. It just kind of depends. Like if it's poorly heat treated or if it's soft, it's not going to do very good with a polished edge. It'll take a polished edge really good, but it won't hold it. Thanks for the question, though, man. These are great questions. Jared, have you tried any of the Hapstone fixed angles? No, I have not. I'm hoping one day they'll send me one. So, what's your favorite type of edge? You got the KME system. Do you have a polishing stone, or do you only have the diamond plates?
I only have the diamond plates and the strop with some diamond emulsion on it.
Which emulsion?
I believe it's the Gunny Juice 0.3
okay.
micron.
Which micron?
0.3.
0.3. Okay. Custom EDC knives. Thank you for the 2 bones. Hey everyone, how's it going? Not bad. How are you doing? Gunny Juice is great. So what grit is your last diamond plate?
1500.
1500. Okay, so at 1500 grit, if you wanted to go to a polish, if you had the money, which this isn't cheap to do, so I'm not pretending it is, you could get like 12 micron, 9 micron, 6 micron, 3 micron, and 1 micron Gunny Juice, which is a lot of money. But I'm just saying, like, if you had the stropping compounds, that would get you a mirror polish from 1500 grit. Because at 1500 grit, you're only 500 grit away from a polished edge. So it doesn't take much to get to a polished edge. And then from there, you can continue to refine it, which, like I said, stropping, you could strop it to a mirror polish. Now, the problem with doing that is that in many cases, most of the time, especially if you're freehand, this happens, but with a fixed angle system, it's not so bad. You just want to be careful, but you sometimes go backwards, meaning like you have a really sticky edge, but you overstrop it and it takes away that bite that you love. But if you're nice and delicate with it and you don't push really hard, you don't let the leather wrap around the edge like that as it goes by, like this, let it go nice and smooth over the top of it, you can get that edge to be very, very keen. Brandon with the 2 bones, finally get to see my hubby's face.
So for using the different types of microns, would you need several different strops, or could you just use one strop?
No, you want different strops. You have to have different strops because you it'll contaminate. So
Okay.
you have to have different strops. So what you could do is you can always go higher. So if you have like 1 micron on a strop and you want to change it to 12 micron, you can do that. But you can't take a 12 micron and then put 1 micron on it.
Right, right.
And then once you go up, you got to stick with that or go higher. But man, you can get, like, if you really want to, like, you can get a sheet of leather, cut your own leather into like strips, just grab pieces of wood, you grab paint sticks, whatever, and then cut the strips to fit, put it on there. And then Gunny Juice is expensive, but you can get one like once a week, just grab a new one or something. After like 4 or 5 weeks, you'd have, a pretty good set of them, because they're like 20 something dollars a piece. So if you buy 5 or 6 of them, it's going to be over $100, but they last a long time and they work really good. Then, oh, wait. I didn't even think about this. Lacey is making her own emulsions now too. So there is that. And I don't know how much her stuff is. So don't quote me, but I think it's more affordable than Gunny Juice.
It is more affordable. I've talked to her about it.
Okay. There you go. I've learned that mirror polish is for show and a sticky hazy is for go. That's not true, Joshua. So you're gonna take that back right now. No, I'm just joking. No, in most of the most times, 600 grit's gonna be the best, in my opinion. 600 to 1,000. So 1,000,
I agree.
1,200 grit, 600 to 1,200 grit is basically that's where the happy medium place is. Now, however, there are certain steels that do better with a polished edge. Meaning, if you did a cut test, an edge retention test, your cut test would do better with a mirror polished on that said steel. Now, that would require that steel to be heat treated well and all those things. So, certain steels, if they're heat treated well, and certain kinds of steels, like for an example, Nitro V takes a really good polished edge, 14C20 takes a good polished edge,
Yeah.
K390 takes a good polished edge, Crewware takes a really good polished edge. There's lots of steels that take a great polished edge, but there's also a lot of steels that don't. For example, 154 CM, CPM 154, S35VN, D2, those steels, Maximet, they do not do good with a polish. You want a toothy to a medium grit edge on there. So if you just want to have a good edge on everything, 600 to 1,200 grit is a good grit on most steels. But some steels do good with a polished edge. But that's the way I think about it. If you're ever in doubt, just go 600 to 1,000 grit. Between 600, you got to pick one. If you want it more toothy, or go 600. If you want it more finer, go 1,000 to 1,200.
Custom EDC just dropped some memberships.
No, he's talking about Shane. He's talking about actual diamond plates from I think it's Gritomatic. Isn't it Gritomatic plates that you have? For your cami.
No, I have right? The ones that come with the Kami, stock.
Right, it's basically it's the same thing though. It's the same thing as the Gritomatic diamond. It's just diamond plates, so it's still right. The grit rating.
Not to cut you off, but
go ahead.
Custom EDC just dropped like 10 memberships.
Oh fuck, man! Holy cow! Yes, he did. Custom EDC. I can't pull it up, guys, because I can't even see it unless if I look over on my other device. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. He just gifted 5 members. Who is the new members? You guys have a live coming this weekend on Sunday. So if you are a member, keep your eyes out for a live on Sunday at 12:15. Edgy American with the 5 bones says, I'm loving Lacey's diamond spray. It has changed my process completely. I now only use 9 micron. I love the bite and the price is way better. Yeah, I got to agree. I really love a lot of bite myself. So like, that's why if I have a polished edge on my steel, it better be like a polished edge with a lot of bite. But if not, doing 600 grit, 1,200 grit, something like that, usually around 600 grit, brings out, it's fine enough to where I can do the fine stuff, but it's aggressive enough to where it's nice and toothy and has some bite, but not too toothy. That's what I love about 600 grit.
Yeah, 600 grit is great all around.
Yeah, it is. I would say that it's the best grit for most knives.
Definitely.
Personally speaking. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything else. What's up, Todd? Todd Carr's in the house. So, what do you have any anything that's kind of been on your radar lately? Knife wise, company wise, anything wise?
I have been eyeing some Bradford Guardians recently.
Okay.
I don't have too many fixed blades, I've been thinking maybe, start collecting fixed blades. Also, what was that one knife that just dropped recently? I can't think of the name now. It was all titanium.
I can't think of the name either of the company I'm thinking of, but there's a company that I've been eyeing too. They make something kind of like the Clinch Pick 2.0, but they also make other fixed blades. It's USA made, but I've seen it on Blade HQ, and I've been checking that company out. Also, Tor knives, and I'm wanting to get some more Tops knives, in my collection. So maybe I'll contact them and see if they'll work with me. But if not, I'll buy them. It's a USA company I want to support anyway. So as much as possible.
Yeah,
it's just difficult. I want to get everything on the channel, but it's not possible, right? I have to work with the companies that'll work with me and buy from the ones that won't. And sometimes, you know, like I got to decide like where I want to put my money, which company I will that won't, you know, send anything. What is Giant Mouse making that knife you can't think of, Zoroaster?
Um, I don't know if it was Giant Mouse.
I don't know. Somebody was saying in the chat before we started. Do you remember that? They were saying that Giant Mouse, the Ace Clyde, they have like a new special one or something. It's like, I don't know what they said, like $400 or $500. That's stupid.
I do like Giant Mouse's GM5, but it's out of my price range currently.
I only have 4 fixed blades, but I'm starting to love them. I had a bunch of fixed blades, but there is definitely some more that I want in the collection. I want to get a good, somewhat lightweight cleaver. I want to get one of those, something for chopping and stuff. And then I want to get a carbon steel chef knife, and I want to get a couple good camp knives. Like I have some decent ones, but I want to get some real good ones, like something that I can be proud of, something that's a little bit more special. Oh, speaking of chef knives, we got Steve in the house. What's up, Steve? This guy has the personality of a dead hooker. Steve, thank you for joining. If you guys don't know, Steve makes custom knives, chef knives, and he's actually even doing a camp knife. Speaking of camp knives, definitely go and follow what he's doing. Too bad he won't make some YouTube videos to you know, keep our attention. He does the Instagram ones, so you got to find him over there. Good Lord. TRC Fixies is the she's. A-OK. Ace on Knives. Thank you for the 2 bones. I'm going down to meet Eric from Indiana Knives. Nice. Hell yeah. What did I have? I had something from Indiana Knives. Oh yeah. I did. I talked to him actually. I remember what I'm talking about. Back on the. Oh, Breeze is back. Holy cow! There he is. I thought you died, man. Fucking, I was about to send the wolf pack to come and find you. What the hell? Back on the grid. Good to see you back, man. Good to see you back. So what else? You said you only have one stropping compound to maintenance your edges? What else do you use anything to maintenance your edge, like ceramic rods or diamond rods or anything? You don't have anything like that? Or some sort of honing stone?
I do have one ceramic rod that you sent me a while back during Members Live.
That sounds like a Neevesknives thing.
It's I still have it. I mostly use it for the kitchen knives or to put micro levels on stuff.
Yeah, they work great.
Yeah,
I recommend everybody should just have, even if you're not into pocket knives, you don't have to be in pocket knives. If you have a damn kitchen knife, which you better, you should have a ceramic rod. Keep up with it.
I did recently get a paring knife from Kangshan in 14C28N, and it's really good.
That sounds awesome. What company was it? What company did you say?
Kangshan.
I don't know what that is. Kangshan?
No, Kangshan.
Okay.
It's sort of like Dahlstrom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha. And you like it, huh?
That's really good. Full tang. It's a nice paring knife. Has a really good blade shape. Mosaic pins. It was about $40, and it comes with a magnetic wooden sheath.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love a good paring knife. I think a good paring knife is essential, not only, like obviously, in the kitchen and stuff, but it's so easy to use. It's kind of like in my opinion, like one of the most used knives in the kitchen. So I like having a good paring knife, and I only have like 2 or 3 really good ones. I want to show you guys something. And I'm only going to show you one little look because I have a whole box of knives here that we're going to be showing on the channel soon. I know this isn't everybody's style right now, or maybe I should hold back on this one. Screw it. So it's somewhat of an art knife. Okay, so don't go too crazy, right? I'm not selling it to you guys. You guys can't buy it yet, but check that out. Where is the blade, right? Where is the blade? You can see right through it, right? See right
You
through
wouldn't
it.
even think it's a knife.
It is a knife, and it is sharp. It is sharp. I can prove it. It's sharp. Let's see if we can cut some paper with it. I don't know how good it'll cut paper, but I bet it will. Pretty sharp. It's an automatic. It's pretty comfortable in the hand. There's a big and a small one, so this is just one size. But yeah, that blade is cut perfectly, just like the handle. So when it closes, it disappears. That's cool, right?
It's
It's
very
not
nice.
my style either, but
I
it's
like
kind of
it.
it's kind of unique. Comes with a box that it also fits in, and you can't see it inside the box. Look at that.
Down here in the South, that's what you would call a barbecue knife.
The bar, it's a doggone barbecue knife right there. I see. We have a super chat, Arrowhead with the 15 bones. Thank you, brother. Any other Chiefs fans out there? Super Bowl champs, baby. Yeah, I'm not much of a football fan, so not that I wouldn't like bet or but the only time I care is when I'm betting. Like if I'm at a game or if I'm betting or if I'm on a strip card or something, then I'm all about it. But other than that, like I'm just,
Yeah, same here. Unless it's UFC, I don't really
I
care.
like UFC. I do like UFC. Speaking of that, man, that recent fight was pretty good. I
I
didn't
didn't
think
watch
he
it.
won, to be honest, but I guess I'm wrong, but
Yeah, the what Islam and
yeah. hmm I thought Islam lost, but maybe I just didn't see it. And I didn't, to be honest, like I didn't watch as much of the first and second round, as much as I probably should have. And maybe that's why, because they do have to count all the rounds, right? They can't just count the last couple. Man, that last round, Islam was getting the work. So that's all I'm saying.
yeah, the other
Custom
guy was
80C Knives gifted 5 more memberships, man. Thank you. Holy cow, we got 5 more memberships. You see that, guys? You guys are lucky, man. You guys will be in a Neevesknives live sharpening on Sunday. Well, hopefully you guys show up. You guys might just blow me off. Dang, I'm late, but I'm here now. Well, that's what's important, Big Nate. Thank you for joining. Yeah, I was hoping the Eagles would have won. I am a Chargers fan, so I can't root for my division rivals. So you're in the UFC. You into anything else? What other kind of hobbies do you get into besides the knife thing?
well, a couple years back before I went sober, I was in better shape. I'm really overweight now, but I used to do some judo, kickboxing, Muay Thai,
That's awesome.
Kyokushin, karate.
Why aren't you still doing it?
I'm like 315 now, bro. I can
Well, but
barely.
that would help, right?
Well, I mean, I have double jointed knees, a bunch of broken bones and whatnot, flat feet.
So you
It's
need to
not.
get out moving.
Yeah. Uh,
Well, don't hide away from it, man. Get out there, get moving, shed some pounds off, and then rejoin, man. Because I'm telling you, that's something that if you don't, in 20 years, you're gonna be regretting not, right?
for
And
sure.
all of us are going to be regretting not doing something. There's going to be something every single one of us in here are going to say, man, I wish I would have started that 20 years ago, or I wish I would have done that. I wish I would have gotten good at that. Like if I started it then, look where I'd be now, right? We're all going to do that about something. And I think something like that, it would be really cool. And like if you have weight problems, man, that would be something that would help you, keep the weight off once you get it off,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm 6'3", so the weight distributes evenly. I only have a big belly, but it's still out of shape for sure.
Well, it's not a bad idea to get in the gym and just throw some hands, right? If you can get into a boxing gym, just where you can hit the pads and stuff, that movement,
Sure.
man, that movement will shed weight. Any type of calorie burning, man. If you even on a bike, get on a bike, get on something that works for you, get in a pool, something you got plenty of those in Florida, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of pools.
Yeah, my problem is since I'm half Persian, half Cuban,
Uh,
calories, the carbs is a big part of our diet.
yeah,
Cuban bread
get
basically.
away from those. The
Yeah,
rest of you too, get the fuck away from all those carbs, you asses. You guys got to stop those damn carbs, man. Even myself, I'm speaking to myself. Carbs, man, they're delicious, but man, I'm talking about the bad ones though. I'm not talking about the good carbs. I'm talking about the bad ones, the white breads and shit like that. Get away from them, man.
no,
Like me,
for sure.
I'm trying to not eat any white bread right now
With
at all.
Persian culture, steamed hot white rice with a glob of butter on it is
No
like an
good, man. No
everyday
good.
meal.
It's better
And
than brown rice, but no good.
Cuban bread is 90% lard, so it's nothing but carbs. And I mean,
AOK says you need to join the AOK Knife Fighting Network. The rest of you guys do too. Definitely sign up to that. Thank you for the 2 bones, man. I appreciate it. You were saying, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
no, you're good. I agree 100% with what they're saying. For me right now, if I were to get back into martial arts, it would most likely be for health. Back, a couple years, it
That's a
was
good reason, though. That's a good reason.
yeah. Back, I used to think differently. A couple years ago, it was mainly for self defense and whatnot. But
Yeah.
since I'm out of shape now, I mostly rely on my concealed weapons permit for that.
Yeah, I get that, but I think so. I'm gonna get right to what you're talking about. Semperfi EDC got gifted 5 more memberships. That's 15 memberships already today. Damn, we got a lot of members. Thank you guys, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support so much.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, for sure. So what I would say is that most likely, like for me personally, this is just where my brain goes, right? And I know not everybody thinks like me, but with me, I think about like say a car accident, right? You get
Right.
into a car accident and there's a woman trapped in the car with her kid or something like that, and you got to be the one to save the day, right? You're not
Right.
gonna, you ain't got time to wait for the police or an ambulance or some other fuck, right? You got to fucking take care of business right then and there, and it should be on you, right? As the guy, whoever's on scene, it's your fucking duty. It's your job. It's nobody else's job. It's your job. So if you can't do it, that prevents you from doing your duty. So I think keeping that mindset, like I have a duty, that if it comes time and it's my time to do my duty, then I have to do it, right? Regardless what it is. So keeping that sort of mindset can make you want to do things like that. And I know it doesn't happen overnight. Obviously it doesn't. So once you start getting that mindset where you start thinking about it, then hopefully you'll start, doing
Yeah.
it as long as you constantly tell yourself and talk to yourself like that and remind yourself that you have to be there for people, right? Holy cow. We have Michael Pasella has been a member for 1 month to the Benchmaids. Don't forget the the potatoes and bread. That's where the fire's at. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Definitely stay away from the taters and the bread. Potatoes can be okay, in small portions. You just don't want lots of them, especially with like tons of butter and stuff. But yeah, self-defense, like going to a place for those purposes, you're gonna get that anyways, going to those places. But the beauty is you're gonna get the discipline, you're gonna get the habits, you're gonna get the weight loss, you're gonna get all those things. Even with me, right? Like I think about going back to a gym. I'm actually signed up to not just a regular workout gym, and I haven't been in months. I work out at the house, and I should be going. I'm paying, but I just haven't been going. I've been just doing it at the house. Anyways, point is though, is that I thought about signing up to another gym, but me personally for endurance, because like I have poor endurance right now, shit endurance. And I think about like, man, if I had to carry Kara up a hill or something right now, it'd fucking probably kill me. I mean, I'd do it, but I'd like to have a little bit more breath. I'd like to be able to think that I can, you know, run it out if I need to without dying of
Not the cut.
attack or something. What's that?
Kyle wants me to let you know that EDC has dropped 20 member donations himself.
Custom EDC Knives, member for 11 months. Jared preaching the gospel. Thank you, brother. And then you said who dropped?
Custom EDC. Him. He
Custom
dropped 20
EDC dropped how many? 20? I don't see it. Or you mean altogether he dropped?
all together, yeah, all together.
All together. Oh, damn, man. That's crazy. I thought it was 15. You proved me wrong. Thank you, man. That's a lot of money. I appreciate it so much. That is a lot of bones right there. Thank you. Seems Logical says, I used to work for a Korean family where they would feed me at work. When he found out I was Irish, he kept feeding me potatoes. I should have been offended, but I was too busy laughing about it. Don't be offended. I mean, I would take it as how do you say it? I can't even think of the word for it. I got a brain fart. But yeah, I wouldn't take that mean. I would take that in a happy way. You know, they're trying to be cool. They're trying to be nice. Yeah.
Everybody talking about food in the chat. I'm getting hungry. Stop.
Yeah. So, like, what I do, I try to stay on high protein, low calorie dense foods. So that's what I try to eat. So there's programs you can get on that literally will send you cooked food. All you gotta do is heat them up. They're cheap as fuck, like super cheap. Like they're cheaper than probably food you eat right now in your house. But if you can't afford to do that, you can prep them yourself. You can make your own food groups. You just don't put shit in your house that has high calories and low amounts of nutrition. Make sure everything in your house has high nutrition, low calories, lots of protein, lots of vegetables, things like that. You'll be good. Good to go. That sounds great, Lacey. Sometimes I'll take the syrup that comes off the baked sweet potato and brush it on the chicken. You guys are getting people hungry in this bitch.
Yeah, recently I've been eating a lot of lean meats, chicken and fish mostly.
Yeah, that's good shit. It's good shit. Meats are always good. And like anybody who wants to lose weight, you get on a carnivore diet, you are going to shed fucking weight. And yeah, you will shed weight fast because you won't have any carbs or anything in your diet. Carbs are the hardest thing for me to cut out of my diet. It is the hardest for everybody. That's the problem. It's the hardest for everybody, but you have to supplement it with something that is just better for you. Right? Something that you enjoy, though. The worst thing to do is to cut something that you enjoy for something you're not going to enjoy, because you will wind up going back to that thing you enjoy. So you want to stop whatever, is not good for you and replace it with something that you actually enjoy. But you got to find it. Sometimes it takes a little bit of effort and work. Like me, I found, just for an example, right? I like for a sugar fix, I eat the Kodak protein muffins. So it's just, you can get them in the box where you can make them yourself, or you can get them in the little containers, slap a little milk in there, stir it up, throw it in the microwave for 60 seconds, take it out. You got a double chocolate muffin, but it's a high protein muffin. Like it's good for you. It's not bad for you. So that makes it to where for the calorie intake, I'm getting a large amount of protein for the calories I'm ingesting. So It winds up being where it's not like, a bad, chocolate donut or something. And they taste fucking delicious, by the way. Let me tell you, it's delicious. I could eat 2 or 3 of them in a row.
My biggest problem has always been portion control. I've always ate more or less healthy, but it's just, it's a portion control.
Chicken and fish are some of the best proteins to eat. The less legs it has, the better it usually is for you. Yeah, so the best is going to be for protein, the best is eggs. Then it goes to I think salmon first and then chicken. I might have that reversed. And then I think red meat. I think that's how it goes.
Yeah, I've lost 50 pounds this month eating nothing but salmon and chicken breast.
That's awesome, man. Hell yeah. Keep it up. And that's amazing. Good for you. Good for you on the 15 pounds, man. That's great. That's an amazing thing. Be proud of yourself.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Don't and try to stand on it, man, because think about it, man. You did that in 1 month. In 1 month, fuck, man. Think about where you could be in 6 months. Holy shit, right?
Is that I'll gain it all back tomorrow. Cuban
But
food.
don't do it. Don't do it.
Hard.
You got to start seeing that food as poisonous. I've told this, before. I'm sure you've heard me say it. Like, I got myself into the habit of looking at things and letting my brain say poison. So like say soda right now. When I see soda, trust me, I would love to have a nice ice cold root beer right now. But my brain, when I see it, I automatically see a poison sign. Like, I literally think of bleach or something like poisonous.
Right.
Like that, because that's what it's doing to you. It's fucking you up. Like, it's not good for you. So that I just constantly think of it. And now, like, because like I spent like 6 months, every time I looked at it, I would think poison. Now, every time I see it, all I can think of is it's poisonous.
I tried to substitute soda with sparkling water most of the time.
Yeah. You can supplement a lot of things, man. There's a lot of things you can supplement to make it easier, right? And there's great cookbooks out there that you can have high protein, low calorie dense foods that are super delicious to where you do not have to worry about the amount of food you eat. You can literally eat till you're so stuffed you can't even like walk, and you'll still lose weight.
Yeah, it's really hard, especially growing up with certain culture, like Cuban food, for example.
Oh, I'm
Cuban
sure.
sandwich, so many calories. Somebody in the chat said soda is liquid candy. Here in Miami, amongst the Cuban population, there's this one pineapple soda called Jupina, and it literally tastes like liquid candy. It's so addictive.
Yeah.
You guys think the basic American sodas are bad, like Coca-Cola and whatnot? There, there's some third world soda out there. It's so bad for you. It's so good though.
I can imagine. No, I grew up on like Southern cooking, Southern type food, soul food, shit like that. And yeah, it's delicious, but man, it's not good for you. It's not good for you. And especially like I've watched what like some of it is done to my family. So, it lets me know like, that's not good. Like, I watched my grandma, man. Shout out to my grandma. She's been passed away for a while now. Man, she basically damn near ate herself to death, man. She just would not stop. She would not stop. I remember like I would be in the kitchen and there'd be like a pie. Who knows why there's a fucking pie there, but there'd be a pie. And she'd be like, Jared, cut me a slice of pie. Grandma, you can't have pie. You know that, right? I'll walk away. Next thing I know, she's over at the counter eating the whole fucking pie. Like, damn it, Grandma. And I thought it was funny because like it's like, man, I don't want to stop her from doing anything she loves, and she would get sad, like she'd be upset, like when I told her no. So I'd cut her like a little slice, but it was never enough. So what she would do is, and she would get everybody who came through the door to get, because everybody knew, don't give her more than this, only give her a little bit. So then she just had everybody give her that little slice. By the time she was done, she'd eat the whole damn pie in a matter of hours because everybody brought her a slice. Antimatter, thank you for the 20 bones. He says, Jared, I sharpened a Bridgeport 395 14C28N with Atomas to 600 grit and then strapped with 6-micron gunny juice. It was razor sharp, cut cleanly through paper towel. It lost its bite after one cut through a thick cloth strap. Sounds like you might have some burnt steel. I don't know what type of strap that was, but remember, ropes and straps, man, they can be pretty hard on edges. I would say one of three things happen. One, you have some burnt steel, you just need to sharpen it again, because remember, a lot of steels, which usually this doesn't happen to 14C, but I'm not saying it's impossible, but usually it takes 2 or 3 edges, even 4 edges sometimes, before you get into really good steel that's going to hold a good edge. The second thing could be the way you deburred might have been very sharp off the bat. It might have cut cleanly through paper towel, but you might have had microscopic burrs on the edge that you just couldn't tell, and it still would cut cleanly. Or maybe like when you did deburr, maybe some came off. Like there's a lot of different things that can happen. I'd say just do it again, resharpen it again. And when you cut that strap, pay attention to exactly what's happening and how you're doing it, because there's a lot of factors that could have came into play. The other day, like I had a knife, right? And I know this didn't happen to you. I'm not saying this happened to you, but this was something stupid I did. I got fresh off the stone, literally just sharpened this knife to a fucking razor. And I went to put this thing on it that Kara gave me, like just for like a picture. And I went to close it and it went like this and smack right on this metal thing. So like the whole front portion of the edge just destroyed. And it's like I literally just spent like 45 minutes sharpening this damn
That's
thing.
the
Now I
worst.
got to redo it. But it was
Um,
just, and if I wouldn't have looked, I wouldn't have even noticed that I hit it. Like it's just I happened to notice, but otherwise I would have been like, "What is going on with this edge? This steel is junk." It was actually
Kyle,
14C too.
Kyle wants me to get your attention for a second. Semper
Who?
Fi,
Who? I'm sorry. Who?
Kyle, the mod.
Okay. What's you want?
10 memberships from Semper Fi, and there's a charity raffle. That we need to.
Semper Fi. Thank you for another 5 members. Man, you guys are awesome. And thank you for another 5 members. I appreciate the 10 members. And then what were you saying?
Semper Fi also has a charity raffle that
Oh,
he's doing.
okay. Let me I can't see it. I mean, if somebody Kyle's got it linked, so Kyle will link it.
He just
Thank you,
dropped-
Antimatter, for the 20 bones, man. I appreciate it. Here is Vince's charity raffle right here, guys. If you guys want to go and check that out. Thank you for all the members, man. I appreciate it. I know those was a lot of bones. I'm good finishing up Mr. Talika's knives. He had me sharpen for him. I'm just looking through the chat really quick. Give me 1 second and just making sure I didn't miss anything. All right, so let me pull this off.
Do you cook at all, Jared?
I like cooking. I mean, I don't mind cooking, but like what I've done recently is we recently ordered this meal plan where they send you pre-cooked food, because I was having Kara cook me shit, but it's difficult to have her cook for me multiple times a day. So to save her some time, not saying she's still not cooking, but to save her like a meal or two a day, I order this one stuff. It's a pre-packed meal plan, and you get to pick exactly what you want. Like you can pick like high protein meals, low calorie meals, you can pick keto diet, whatever you want. And I picked the high protein meals, so I have a whole bunch of high protein meals. I can just slap them in the microwave. And listen, they're fresh, flash frozen, so they're made fresh, flash. I can't even say the word flash frozen. So when you get them, it's like it's fresh. So it's like fresh food. Because when it's done like that, it's not like it was thrown in a freezer and frozen. It's
Is that
fresh.
the one you made a video of?
No, this is different. So that one we did do for a while. We did that for like 6 months. The problem with it is that it's not pre-cooked. You have to cook it. So they send you all the ingredients, and don't get me wrong. Oh my goodness, that stuff is delicious. Oh fuck, it's so good. Those meals that you make are just like, but this is pre-cooked. So I just have to heat them up. It makes it a lot easier. Because I'll buy like TV dinners and stuff, like the healthy ones, like Healthy Choice and stuff.
Right.
But they're not that good for you, right? Even though they're healthier than like Hungry Man or whatever, they're still not that good for you because it's frozen. And it's frozen, so it's like all the nutrition's probably dead in it, and like makes it to where the nutrition is still there and it's still really good.
Yeah, I've seen some of those meal prep companies like Freshly.
There's a ton of them. Yeah, there's a ton of them. There's some really good ones though, and they're usually, I don't know about all of them, but the ones I've tried have all been delicious meals. I mean, there's a reason why people stick with them, right? Not because they taste like shit.
Right.
So it's good when you can get a healthy meal that's also delicious. I'm a barber and was checking out some German Boker barber straight razors, and man, I really want one now. There's I don't know exactly what a German Boker barber straight razor is, but there's some folders with the straight razor type of blade shape. One being Berg blades. The Berg blades, I forget the name, but you can look up Berg blades and you'll see they have one with a straight razor type of edge or
I think
blade.
I've seen that before.
Yeah, it looks cool. I almost got one. I'm a huge fan of HelloFresh. That's what we used to be on. I still got to cook it, but it's usually good shit. That's exactly what I was just talking about. That's the one we had was the HelloFresh. That shit's delicious. But yeah, you have to cook it. That's the problem. It's not a problem, but that's the thing. You have to cook them.
There's like restaurants in my area that offer like meal prep plans and all that stuff, and they'll just deliver it to your house.
Well, that's what these ones do for me right now. They get delivered to my house. They're frozen. I put them in the freezer and then eat any meal. Like say, if you want the next 5 days of meals, you just take them out and put them in the fridge so they can thaw. But and they don't take long to thaw, but you don't want to put them in while they're frozen and cook them. You want to let them thaw, then cook them. And it tastes so super fresh because they were flash frozen. So
for sure. Yeah.
Flash freezing helps keep the nutrition in there.
It preserves the flavor as well.
Preserves the flavor. Yeah. All that good stuff that we want. What exactly does a mod do? I am out of the loop. A mod is the guys you see in the chat that have a wrench next to their name. And what they do is when you guys fuck around, they put you in timeout. And when bots and spam accounts come in here, they kick them out. So they put people in timeout. They warn people if because I can't a lot of times I can't see half the chat. So like you guys will be going in hard on shit sometimes. And sometimes people just need to be put in check really quick and say, hey man, cut it back a notch. I usually don't care what anybody says. I just don't want you guys being mean to specific people, right? I don't care if you guys make fun of each other and talk shit. I love that stuff, but just don't be mean, like, be like deliberately being mean to somebody trying to join the chat. And when that happens, you get a warning. And if you don't stop, then you get a timeout for a minute or two. And then if you come back and you don't stop, you're just going to get kicked out. Why does this person have no name? He has a name. ZOROASTER. Oh, shit. Where is their name? Yeah, there it is. You got a name right there.
Right there. Bro.
Yep. Breeze is back. He's back in action. Someone I know works for HelloFresh. They now have a sister company or something like that is pre-cooked. Just a heads up. Really? That's awesome. I wonder if they're doing what I said before, flash freezing. That wouldn't be bad. And if they're the same food, I would probably go to them. I'm trying this one out right now, so it might be just as delicious. So far, I've only had a couple meals from them. And they've been good. But that HelloFresh, man, that shit is fire. What mods do? They help people find out after effing around and also promote all the best local dating sites with hot singles near you. There you go. But how will I know if sexy ladies in my area are looking for me if you kick out all the bots? That's true. That's true. We usually try to leave one or two just for you guys, just in case. We just don't, we don't want a bunch of competition in here. So I have some vintage. What is that? Soligen? German-made barber blades from the 30s, but I don't use them. Yeah, if they're vintage, I wouldn't use them either. But it ain't bad.
I'm sure he's.
What's that?
No, I'm sure he's talking about old classic razor brands like Dovo and whatnot. DOVO.
Yeah. I'm thinking about doing a restoration video soon. I'm gonna take maybe I don't know if I'll take a modern folder or an old one and maybe like just go throw it out in the dirt for like a week. Just let it get all fucked up as much as possible, and then do a video restoring it.
Maybe
put a boot in your ass if you step out of line. If you smell what the mail me bags of food company is cooking. If you smell what the mail me bags of food company is cooking, I got it now. Shout out to Luck Knives. Definitely go and check out what he's doing because he is making custom knives now. So he went from knife reviewer to knife maker overnight. Changed his logo about 16 times and his name. And now he's finalized on LUC Knives.
Only 16, huh?
Formerly known as Knife Sergeant.
Oh, that's Knife Sergeant.
That's Knife Sergeant. No, formerly known. For those folks who are looking for sexy ladies in our area, check this out. There you go. Hell yeah. nafsale.com. That's hilarious. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, get over there and check that out. You will be happy. Let me make sure I didn't get any more. You guys been hitting it hard with the members. I appreciate it, man. Thank you guys so much. I think there was something I wanted to say. Oh, yeah. By the way, don't forget patron members. We are doing the giveaway. We are going to give away 3, whoever wins wants from Mojave Outdoors. So keep an eye on that video coming probably tomorrow or the next day. And there's not going to be no knives in the video because you guys have to pick what knife you want from Mojave Outdoors. So, how did you find the knife community, or when did you find it?
I'd say about 3 or 4 years ago. I've been collecting for about 6, but I've always had a pocket knife in my on my person or around me, even if it was like I want to say my first knife was maybe a cheap Ridge Runner that my dad bought me when I was like maybe 16. We lived in a bad area. It's not as bad as it is, as it was, but I used to have to carry a knife on me at all times for protection.
Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry.
No, the knife community, the YouTube knife community, at least maybe 4 years ago, around the same time as I got sober, I transitioned into the knife community.
Who'd you find first?
I want to say you.
Really?
Right around your 40K mark, maybe.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Neevesknives.
I remember your setup was completely different.
Yeah, it was. It was. I try to change every year. Every year, not just every year, but like a couple times a year, I try to evolve. I want to make sure that this channel stays evolving and it's something that I want, right? Like I have like not that like it's going to change massively, but like, just polished, and just looked really good. Kind of like with the camera, right? Switching from a phone to a camera, the visuals are going to be really good. Lighting is a big deal, all those things. And you learn those things over time. So Luck Knives says, I just paid Transparent Knives for heat treating my batch of Magna Cut blanks, so I should have those back soon. Hell yeah, that's badass. Good idea too. Awesome. Awesome way to make sure you get some good heat treated Magna Cut. So you pulled out a couple fragrances, huh?
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about them. I got a couple myself. So this is where we switch over to talking about other men things besides knives, and we're going to talk a little bit about fragrances right now. What you got?
My go-to daily scent is the Dolce Gabbana.
Okay. I got the Dolce Gabbana Light Blue Intense. Really good stuff. Really, really good.
Light blue and sky blue is what I would usually wear for all of high school. It was cheap.
What is that one?
The pour home.
But I mean, what is the fragrance?
Eau de Toilette. I don't know off the top of my head. It has a clean smell. It's
a fresh scent.
Yeah, typical blue scent that you would. Oops, sorry guys, I dropped that up.
The whole place smells like it now. No, yeah, no. The Dolce Gabbanas are really good. I have the Light Blue Intense. That one, it's a fresh scent. Also, it's kind of like a fresh dryer sheet almost like a shower gel scent, but in a really, really good way. It's very, very popular with women. Like if you look at women's top 10 men, like favorite men's fragrances, almost all of them have that on their list.
For sure. So to those that don't know too much about cologne, whenever
Yep.
a scent has like a blue cap or it's just a blue scent in general, it have that nice clean smell, like fresh out of the shower smell that Jared always talked about.
Yeah, that's blue. Yeah, that's a blue
Yeah,
fragrance.
those blue scents, Blue de Chanel and whatnot.
My fragrance lately is blue, Dickham layout fluid and my Carta dust. There you go. There you go.
Another really good day to day fragrance just
Yeah.
is a Vincent Camuto.
Okay. I haven't heard of that one.
He's a shoe designer.
Okay. What kind of fragrance is that? Is that a leather fragrance or?
This one,
It looks like a leather fragrance. That's why I'm saying that.
this bottle is actually empty. I haven't worn it in a while.
Okay.
But it's also a nice clean smell. That's
Okay.
generally what I go for.
Yeah.
Is
Fresh scents.
Yeah.
Well, right now, what I'm wearing right now is Coach Blue, which is a blue fragrance. Now, my favorite fragrance from this company, because this is basically, we were just talking about, it's a blue fragrance, fresh shower gel type smell, just a really fresh and clean. You spray it on, you smell like you just took a nice fresh clean shower, but in a good way, like, obviously. But my favorite one from Coach, and I've talked about it so many times, you can see I've used it a ton. You can see how much I've used out of it. The Coach for Men. This one is possibly it's at least my top 3 to top 5 favorite fragrances. The smell of it doesn't last for a long time. That's the only downside, is that it only lasts for a few hours. So you do gotta, spray it on, or keep it on you and just spray it, after it starts wearing off. But the scent is just like every time I spray this, like Kara, I'll hear her like 30 seconds later, maybe a minute later. That smells really good. What is that? Every time, because it smells so damn good. Even me, when I put it on, I can't stop smelling myself. It smells so damn good. But like I said, it does wear off, but it's not a very expensive fragrance. Then they have the Platinum line, which is it's somewhat of a winter fragrance a little bit, but it's not spicy. It's a woodsy, leathery suede fragrance. So it's a very, it's a suede fragrance. It smells like sweet suede, mixed with a little bit of like mahogany and wood. It's a really good scent though. I love it. I usually wear it on like cloudy, somewhat chilly days, like where it's not really hot, it's not really cold, just kind of like those in betweens. That's where I think, but it's also good for summer or winter. It doesn't really matter. But some fragrances do better in the summer. Like this would be considered a blue fragrance for men, but yeah.
You have any colognes that are just nostalgic and bring back good memories?
Oh yeah, like I have a ton of those. Yeah, I have a few of those because I wore them back in the day. There's some that I dislike because of that. There's some that because I wore them or because I smelt them when I was younger and I somewhat liked them, now I just don't. But our nose changes as we mature. So you're going to notice that as time goes on, your nose is going to be attracted to different things. There's a reason why old men smell like old men. Right? There's a reason why, and it's because that's what their scent is attracted to. Right? That's what the women around them are attracted to, is that type of fragrance, because that's what they've evolved into. So, yeah.
Speaking of old men,
Yep.
My grandfather, he passed away a little while ago. He had
Shout out to
leukemia.
Grandpa.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
He was a truck driver with a great sense of smell, and
Nice.
he used to love wearing Tommy Bahama. Every time I smell that,
My grandpa was a huge fragrance wearer too. My grandpa used to have a collection, a big ass collection, huge. I used to he passed away. I was too young when he passed away, but I used to see his, because was downstairs in the cannon room. He had all these fragrances on these shelves, and it was all different kinds of bottles and things. So like I'd sit there and stare at them because some of them would be like cars, some would be like barrels, like they were unique bottles. And they were all fragrances, like old as fuck fragrances. Rob says, I use a cologne called Valor by Smoke Wagon Beard Bombs that stated doing beard bombs and made a solid cologne. My wife calls it I want to wear your clothes off cologne. Very cool. So that's what I would say. I would say like something like this is somewhat of a panty dropping cologne. It's really, really good. It's definitely a really good scent, but one of the most, I was just really quick, one of the most popular fragrances among ladies that is that type of fragrance is Bleu de Chanel. Bleu de Chanel. That stuff.
I agree.
I have a bottle. It's really good. It's really good. I like it a lot, not as much as a lot of ladies like it, but even Kara, like I asked her, like, would you call this a sexy fragrance? She was like, yes, absolutely. It's a fresh scent. It's a blue scent, obviously. You know.
Yeah, I want to say Bleu de Chanel, Aqua de Gio, and the YSL. A lot of YSL.
Yeah, I have all those.
Woman, definitely magnets for
YSL. Yeah, YSL especially. YSL. I have most of the YSL collection. I don't have them all, but I have most of them. They're all phenomenal. Every single one of them. The other one you said, what was the other one you said?
Aqua de Gio.
Yeah, those I have 3 of theirs. I have the black, the clear, and the blue, and they're good. I just, I don't wear them as much anymore, but they are good. I would say they're really good office fragrances. Like they're really good if you work in an office because it's not too sweet, not too fresh, but it is fresh. So it's inviting, but it's not like it's just good. So, but a lot of people love them though. So, everybody's nose is different.
Other ones that, oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
Nasty says, Jared, you need to look into health again, bro. Fat and cholesterol are essential. Big pharma paid cherry pick data to sell stated drugs that have made billions. Dude, I look into health every single fucking day, bro. Like literally, like if you go through my phone, most of the shit that's on my thing is all health people, health nuts. That's all I do. It's all I do. Right before this live, I was fucking exercising. That's all I do. And yes, I know healthy fats and cholesterol is good for you. That's not the point. The point is that there's bad carbs for you. There's also bad things for you. Like eating things full of sugar and eating things full of white bread and bad carbs is not good for you. Healthy fats, of course, that's essential because men's testosterone is built off of healthy fats, which is like animal fats. There's other fats from like avocados and things like that too, but healthy fats is how we produce testosterone. And you want healthy fats because like even energy, your body uses fat to burn for energy. So if you don't have those things, but that's not the point. The point is to have a healthy amount of it and to be healthy all around with that, so that your hormones are on point, your nutrition obviously, and then your weight, your energy, your sleep, all those things are important. And like right now, like I'm probably the healthiest I've ever been. Obviously when I was younger, I was probably healthier in reality, but as far as nutrition, exercise, and everything like that goes, Jared needs a second channel about food and exercise coming soon. I buy Old Spice from India online. It makes the woman swoon. My go-to has been Armani Mania. I've had it for a long time. I don't know if I've tried that one. I think I do have a couple Armani fragrances, but I'm not sure if I tried that one. Aqua Velva aftershave works good for women with daddy issues. There you go. Finding the girls with the daddy issues. That's what's up. Shit. Go ahead. What'd you say?
One fragrance that I've seen you've put on the channel before is the Versace Eros.
Oh yeah, I actually got it right here. It's funny.
I have both. I prefer the blue.
I got the tiny one though, because I just wanted to sample it, and I actually I'm starting to like it. I didn't like it at first. What do you think of it?
I like the blue for daytime. It's
Yeah.
better in warm weather for sure.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
summer
yeah, yeah.
fragrance.
It's supposed to be a clubbing fragrance, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a clubbing fragrance. So it's got like for anybody who doesn't know, it's got a little bit of like a mintiness to it, a minty, fresh sweetness to it. But that little bit of mint goes a long way. And with me, my nose wasn't attracted to it. So at first when I smelled it, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I'll wear that. But then I put it on one day and I realized on my skin, it smells pretty decent. And yeah. Yeah, sometimes you have to grow a little bit to a fragrance. Go ahead, sorry.
So the blue one is definitely more of a clean smell, like Jared said, minty. It's really good for warm weather. And the red one is heavy on citrus.
Oh,
So
is it? That's not a spicy fragrance?
not well, I guess you could say it has a little bit of spice to it.
I'm
but
asking because it's red. If you see a red bottle or brown, usually it has spice in it.
Right.
Not
No, the main notes you get from it is such citrusy, lemony, clementine, a little
okay.
lemon.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
can see
really
that
good
now.
for nighttime. Really,
right.
really good for nighttime.
Oh yeah, that sounds like a good fragrance. The Versace is one of my favorite fragrance. The Versace Dylan Blue, I absolutely love
Oh,
that.
that's a good one. Yeah.
That's such a good one. That one is a damn panty dropper right there.
Those aren't too expensive either. They're full bottle.
They're so cheap. That's the one that like
Under
every
100.
man should have in their arsenal. If you don't have Versace Dylan Blue, I don't know what you're doing with your life, because that is like probably the best bang for your buck fragrance. I think it's even cheaper than these Coaches, and arguably more versatile and better. Arguably, I wouldn't say the fragrance is better than this one, but it's right there with it. Like if they were in a race, they would go back and forth on who won. From cholesterol, we weren't designed to live forever. Nobody was. Jared needs a second chance. Oh, I already read that one.
Somebody said I've always wanted to smell like an orange.
No, what? What'd you say?
Somebody said I've always wanted to smell like an orange.
An orange? Well, I personally wouldn't like an orange fragrance. I'm not big on orange fragrances, but I have a mango fragrance that's fucking fire. It's so good. But remember, it's not like whatever the fragrance is, it's not going to smell only like that. Like there's going to be other ingredients in there to balance it well.
Right.
Kind of like a lot of sweet fragrances have a little bit of spice in there. So it's spicy and sweet at the same time. Go ahead.
Yeah, guys, it's not like you're going to spray it and you're going to smell like
oranges. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to smell like Minute Maid, you know?
Right. Orange is just in the fragrance. It's kind of like
it just smells citrusy in general.
Right. Well, it's kind of like even some of the fresher fragrances. You'll notice they'll have patchouli, and some of them will have suede. Some of them will have all different fragrances in there to balance it out to where it because they're trying to come up with unique fragrances, something that smells good, something that's attractive. They're trying to sell it. They don't want to not sell it. They want people to want to wear it.
What was that mango scent you mentioned?
Okay, so that is I might have to go grab it. Let me just grab it. It's right here.
I'm gonna buy it, and I'm gonna smell like a mango. For all of you that say that fruits and
Gasada. It's Gasada Ambassador. This stuff is fire. Oh, come on, block me. There we go. Gasada Ambassador. It is, oh my God, this is something else. But you can't wear this in the winter though. I don't think. It's too sweet.
It's never winter in Florida, so
I know. I'm just saying for anybody out there, like it's too sweet. It is a very sweet mango fragrance, but damn it, when you smell this, you've never smelled anything like this.
Am I gonna smell like a vape shop when I wear it?
What's that?
Am I gonna smell like a vape shop if I wear it?
No. It's got a fresh, sweet mango scent to it. It smells kind of like I don't know, like kind of like the way you'd imagine like being on the islands or something. I don't know. It's
a tropical scent.
but it's not though. At the same time, it's not technically. I know what you mean, and it kind of, yes, kind of, because it's a mango fragrance, but it just has something special with it that it's super unique. Like I said, it's something I've never smelled anything like this. If you ask me like what's the most craziest fragrance that smells like really good, this would be probably it. But I love it though. Like this is in my top 10 right here. But it's not something you can wear all the time. It's something that it's not like an everyday scent.
Right.
It's something you wear specific times, and yeah, people will be like, "Damn, you smell good." I do have a giant cologne collection. I do. Yes, I do. I probably have about 100 fragrances.
Sorry,
Any man that wants to kill the ladies, get you a bottle of light blue or aqua di Gio and watch the weak knees as you walk by them. Only 2 cents a man needs. So I wouldn't agree with that, because I think every man should have five fragrances. So you need a fresh, a sweet, because you need something for the winter. You need something for the winter, something for warm, something that's warm for colder weathers, nighttime, stuff like that. But you need a fresh, a sweet, and usually sometimes you want like 2 of those, because you don't want the same sweet fragrance every day and the same fresh fragrance. But then you need a spicy, you need something unique, something that's kind of like your signature scent, something that you really love that you could just throw on walking out the door. And then people would say a niche fragrance after that, but I would say something that's a leather fragrance, a wood fragrance. So leather, wood, something like that, a spicy fragrance, a fresh fragrance, a sweet fragrance. So if you have those 4, you're really good right there. Fresh, spicy, sweet, leathery, woody fragrance. Or you can even go with a tobacco fragrance, but go ahead.
No, there's like you were saying, the tobacco leathery,
yeah,
almost like an aftershave, something your grandpa would wear.
Mm-hmm. Well, it depends on what kind. Like, so I have some where it's not like that at all, and then I have some that are. So, like, there's also like how to say it, the barbershop fragrances, right? I have a few of those. The barbershop fragrances are literally how it sounds. It's the smell, like when you're sitting at the barber and they're giving you the shave and stuff, that smell. There's a bunch of fragrances like that, and they smell good. They smell really good, and a lot of women are attracted to it too. But the most attractive fragrance to women, and this has been proven without a shadow of a doubt, is a fresh and sweet fragrances. Fresh and sweet. My number 1 sweet fragrance is Paco Rabanne 1 Million Lucky.
That one's good.
Oh my goodness, is it good? It's so damn good. But I have a bunch of sweet fragrances because I like sweet fragrances too. And then my favorite scent is probably this or Dylan Blue. What's up, baby?
There is actually a cologne that you can only get in Cuba. You might be able to find it online. One of my relatives brought it over when they were visiting. The bottle actually looks like a bundle of cigars tied together, and when you spray it, it smells exactly like a cigar.
Yeah. So there's I have I have 2 tobacco fragrances. One that literally smells like a sweet pipe, but not a smoky, like, so you don't get the smoke from it, but it has that like if it never been lit, never smoked, and you just put tobacco in like a wooden pipe and you smelled it, it kind of smells like that. It's got like a mentholy, tobacco, woody, scent to it. Maybe a little bit of leather in there too, because leather and tobacco go good together. So, do you have, I know we only have like 15 more minutes. Do you have any stories you want to tell? We usually we're way past story time, so I figure we'd maybe hit it on the nose. Maybe if you have some stories from your past or something funny. If not, I can come up with something. It's no problem.
Actually, could I take a bathroom break really quick? You start story time if you want.
Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do.
I'll be right back.
All right, brother. Hey, if you want to just go, you can just go. I mean, you don't have to come back if you don't want. Just say your goodbyes now. It's all good.
No, I can come back if you want. It's up to you.
Do what you want to do. It's up to you.
I'll be right back.
All
One
right.
second.
All right, guys. He's gonna be right back. So you need to make a video of your suggestions on the 5 different kinds that are under $100 each. That's by Mr. Woodcock21. Yeah, I put together a video and I deleted it. I wasn't happy with it, but I am putting together a fragrance video of my most complimented and favorite fragrances. It'll probably be a top 10, just because picking 5 is so difficult, but I'll probably tell you, like, in there, like, these are the 10 fragrances I love, and this is my top 5. But yeah, I'm gonna do that because I think every man should smell good, right? You should smell good, you should feel good, you should look good, get the 3 goods, you're good to go. Jared, start the music, turn down the lights, get us in the story time mood. All right, let's get to it. We'll give him a minute to come back. I don't want to start telling a story and have him come in the middle of it. Plus, I didn't write one down. So, yes, I do know my fragrances. Well, at least I try. Huh. All right. Yeah. I guess I got a story for us. It's not. You want to tell a story about you? As a community post seems logical. Says, as a community post, can you list some of the colognes you have showcased on the lives? It's hard to remember all of them, but that would be a good reference to go back to. I agree. I should do that, actually. I should definitely do that. I should also do a short. So I'm probably going to do a short. I'll do a post, and I am going to do a full video, because a full video, I get to do the note breakdowns. I get to actually give you an idea of what it really smells like. If I do a short or anything like that, I can tell you I like it, but I can't sit there and tell you the notes, like what you're getting when you smell it, any of that stuff. So, but yeah, I will definitely do that. And Tommy Hilfiger is a really good fragrance. That's actually was my go-to back in the day. The original, not the new, the original one back in the day was fire. Even the Tommy Hilfiger girls fragrance was really good. Adidas for her was really good as well, because any of those fragrances, there's no such thing as a man's and a woman's fragrance in reality. Anybody who makes fragrances will tell you that. There's just more masculine and more feminine, but in the middle is for everybody. It's just who wants to wear it, but they'll write men on there or women on there just for a sales pitch.
Right.
All right, so he says, "Oh snap, we forgot Tommy Hilfiger." Yes, Tommy Hilfiger used to be the shit. I used to love that fragrance. Okay, so do you have a story, or do you want me? Because I got a story right now I can start off with if you want.
You can start off, and then I'll just piggyback off of you.
All right, so earlier I started. Well, I didn't start, but I spoke on my way back from Florida when I went and spent a month down in Florida. I've told this story before, but I'm sure a lot of you guys haven't heard it, so I might as well tell it again. So I went down to Florida, like I said, with a bunch of family, and I was kind of running the show, as the adult of the group. And there was a few adults, so I wasn't the only one, but I was kind of, running the show, in charge. Drove down there in a big van full as fuck. But on the way back, a month later, I didn't want to take the straight route home. I wanted to go through the Appalachian Mountains. So, because at the time I had really never been to any real mountains. Like I'd done a little bit of rock climbing, but they were very little. They weren't like big mountains like you see in the Appalachian Mountains. So I wanted to go see them big motherfuckers. So I took a detour through North Carolina, and everything there is like, it's all mountains, and like the roads are just like this, like you're like going around mountains and shit, like everything's like that. So we don't know any of the roads. We're kind of not lost, but we're going to the Appalachian Mountains to see them. So we're looking for a place to kind of hang out and check shit out, look at the scenery, stuff like that. Well, as we're coming through the town, we stopped at a couple places and we asked some people like some questions. They heard our accents and they did not like us. They're like, get the fuck out of our town. Right. So we just kept moving along. And next thing we know, I'm getting pulled over. right? I'm getting pulled over. I got fucking kids in the back smoking blunts, and I'm talking about fucking kids, really kids, like 14-year-old kids in the back smoking blunts. And he comes up to the car and he pulls me over for speeding because, oh yeah, by the way, where I got pulled over was an absolute tourist trap. It's a part of the state that lines up with 2 other states, I believe. So I believe anytime everybody's from out of state, basically. If you're in this little area, everybody's from out of state. So everybody's a flight risk. And if you don't know what that means, when you go to court, if you are a flight risk, you're not going home. They're keeping you. That's what that means. So everybody's a flight risk. And it's a tourist trap. Everybody who gets pulled over goes to jail, right? Everybody. So I get pulled over, and they're telling me that my license is suspended. And I'm like, no, it fucking ain't. You know, I showed them my license, said it was all good. And it wasn't suspended. It was expired by like 2 days. Expired, right? This is something so petty, so petty. But they want their money. So they arrest me, and then they arrest one of the people I'm with too, all right, and find some stuff on them, and I go to jail. And when this is happening, though, I'm getting arrested. Obviously, the cop puts me in the car, and this car is like some hillbilly ass shit. Let me just say that, like the whole fucking scene is like, this doesn't feel good, right? I love you too, baby. So then I get in the car, and the guy goes to go backwards or forwards, one of the two, but puts it in the wrong gear. So he goes to take off, but he like floors it. So it's like I hit my fucking head on the thing, like wham, you know, and it's an accident. He didn't mean to do it. It's just he's that dumb. And I'm telling you, like, if you heard him talk, you would know, like, this isn't just a Southern fucker. This fucker's dumb. and I'm like, oh fuck, what is gonna happen to me? Because all I can think about is Texas Chainsaw Massacre. That's all I can think about. And then I show up to the jail, and it's a house. It looks like a fucking house. It's a big, beat up, hillbilly fucking house. I'm like, it is Texas Chainsaw. That's what I'm thinking. I 100% just show. I mean, I even said something to him. I'm like, where in the fuck are you taking me? He's like, this is the county jail or whatever. That's, you know, city jail or whatever. I'm like, the fuck it is. This is a house, dude. You brought me to your grandma's house. Where are we? It literally looked like a fucking house. And I was like, oh my God, he's going to kill me. Right? Like I'm going to die. Like these guys probably get, you know, people from Chicago all the time. They probably love it when they get people from Chicago here. So he walks me in, you know, and I'm not wanting to walk in there, but you know, so I walk in there, and then I start seeing like bars and stuff, and I start realizing, oh shit, this is a jail. It's not his grandma's house, right? So I'm in there, and this place is small, but they have it like packed with people because it's so small. So they first cuffed me to a chair, which doesn't make sense because I can pick a chair up, right? I can just pick a chair up and walk off. So there's no point to cuff me to it. But they cuff me to it, and I'm sitting there, and I can't help but think like, man, I want a cigarette so bad, right? But where I come from, you can't smoke. There, I didn't know at the time, but you could, right? So I watch an inmate walk by, and he's got a cigarette. I'm like, holy shit. Like, I can smoke in here? Fucking perfect. I'm good. Well, I'm cuffed to this chair, and one of the guards walks by, or a cop or whatever walks up and says, why are you cuffed to that chair? And I said, I don't fucking know. I thought this was standard procedure with you guys. And he's like, no, I've never seen anybody cuffed to a chair before. I'm like, why the fuck do they got me cuffed to this chair? Like, why am I the only guy who gets cuffed to a chair, right? And he even said the same thing. He's like, it just doesn't make sense. You could just get up with it. You know, you just get up and walk. Yeah. I love you. Yeah. So then, you know, it was just super confusing. And the guy, he was super confused. So now I'm even more confused. Well, then they process me, do all the bullshit, and they lock me up in a I think it's 12-man cell, and it had over 18 men in there. So this is not only a fire hazard, it's unsanitary. Think about it. It's a cell. Cells are already tight, right? They're already small. It's a 12-man cell. If you have 12 people in there, it's going to be packed. There was 18 people in there. It was so packed, people were sleeping in the shower. Like there was nowhere to sleep. All the beds were taken. There was, 12 beds. But now, like, there's no room. So, like, everybody's just packed, and you're sitting next to each other like this. There's this guy there who's withdrawing off of heroin, and he had clawed his skin off of his arms. Literally, just clawed them off. Like, he was skinless on his arms. And I'm like, oh fuck. And this guy just looks like he's got problems. So all I can think about is I'm probably gonna have to fight this fucking guy. Then I got lucky because they were giving me cigarettes and stuff because they were cool in there, the inmates and stuff. And so I was chit-chatting with them, bullshitting with them. None of them had ever been to Illinois, so they were all fascinated with flatlands, so I was telling them stories about flatlands and stuff. But I didn't think I was going to get out, neither did they. So they were telling me that you're not getting out, man. Nobody leaves. Dude was in there for over a month, and he was busted with a 1/4 ounce of weed, and he was in there for over a month. And when he said that to me, my heart sank because it's like, oh, fuck, I'm never getting out of here. To me, at home, a 1/4 ounce of weed, you just sign yourself out.
Yeah, it's a PTA.
You're gone. Yeah. Same thing with me. Like, if you get caught with a license that's bad, they're not even probably going to take you to jail. And if they do, you're going to sign yourself out. You're going to be in there 5 minutes. These guys have been in there for a week, some months, for petty bullshit. And I'm thinking, I'm fucked. I'm never getting out of here. So they told me they were like, if you have money, they said, if you got some money, you can call Bales Bondsman Doobie. That was the Bales Bondsman name. You guys can look this shit up if you want to. Bales Bondsman Doobie. Just like weed, like a doobie. He even had it on the side of his van. Doobie. I don't remember if there was a joint or not, but he was a Bales bondsman. So I got in contact with him, or had my family contact him, because I got a phone call, contacted the family, said, hey, shit hit the fan over here. You guys need to get me the fuck out. My dad went to work, and made some phone calls, made the shit happen, got the money down there, got me bailed out. And I want to believe in it. And everybody thought, because since I walked in and I got to walk out, everybody thought I was rich. Like, how the fuck is this guy able to walk out of here? I've been in here for a month, right? Like, that's what they're thinking, which it wasn't that, but yeah, it cost like $7,000 for me to walk out of there. Which is crazy. That's a lot of money to walk out. Then when I left, I have to come back to court. This is 16 hours away from home. Well, the first court date, I go back to it, and my lawyer that I hired doesn't show up. That the Bales bondsman hooked me up with, by the way, doesn't show up. Then and I'm pissed. I have to drive 16 hours back home. Then they make another court date, but I don't know about it. And the lawyer calls me and I'm blowing this guy up, literally blowing him up, trying to get in contact with him to find out when my court date was. He would never answer. Finally, he calls me back up and says, I have a warrant because I didn't show up to court. And it was his fault, though. This was 100% to fuck me over, because the money we gave them, we lose the money to them. If I don't show up to court, I lose all the money. And that's what it was about. They just fucked me over, got me a warrant, and then lost all the money, all the bail, the bail money and all that shit, lost every bit of it. So they got to keep the money. I got screwed over. I just stayed the fuck out of North Carolina for about 11 years. And because I think that's how long their thing lasts, is 11 years. So now it doesn't even exist anymore. It's just been too long. But at first, though, I did have a warrant, though, for a while. But yeah, it's not that crazy, but it was crazy to end such a great trip, because I got so many stories from being in Florida. I had so much fun. I got tons of pictures. Even right now, I have tons of pictures. I had a great time with my family, so many good memories. And to end it all off, I had to go to a North Carolina jail. But yeah, go ahead. If you got a story, shoot.
Is it okay if I talk about drugs?
Do what you gotta do.
So, back in high school, I was involved with gangs for a while, and the way we made money was mostly weed and selling ecstasy. Be in
I'll check it
Miami.
out, Aaron. I haven't seen that. I'll check it out. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going, Zoroaster.
No, so weed, my ecstasy pills in general are really popular in Miami, and I have a friend that lives down the street. His parents would always be out of town, so on the weekends when they would go out of town for a couple days, we'd use it as a place to sell drugs out of.
Yeah.
And so one night where I'm doing pretty good. Me and a couple friends sold maybe over 50 pills in a couple hours, which to people that don't know, it's it's a good amount of money for a kid in high school, Just 10 pills is a couple $100. So
Depending on what kind they are, yeah.
So long story short, the guy that had all the
You said
pills,
these were ecstasy?
well, it's not the MDMA that we take today. It was like the old school 90s rolls that look like Flintstone vitamins.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, go ahead.
So the guy that had all the pills, he was a well-known Latin King gang member, and he was we were basically the middlemen. We were kids in high school. Well, we just sent out mass text messages to high school cheerleaders and whatnot, and we'd bring in the customers and we'd sell it for them, and in return he'd give us a profit.
Yeah.
Towards the end of the night, he had a couple pills left. He's like, "You guys did a good job, whatnot." And it was, I think, my first time ever doing ecstasy. About an hour into taking the ecstasy, somebody mentioned that it's there's a certain thing you can do. You take a Xanax right when you're peaking. Peaking is about an hour into the ecstasy trip. All of it is released into your body and it hits you the hardest. And it literally feels like your brain's like being melted, like your brain's all tingly. And for some reason we thought it was a good idea to listen to this guy who was not the smartest individual. And he's basically said take a Xanax pill and it's called candy flipping or something like that. He said so we call it the Superman tip, basically, and it makes you feel like you're flying. Reality, it made me feel like I was dying, and I probably was. I felt my heart, my entire chest did a backflip. Because imagine, like, you're on the upper, they take it down.
I've been there, I know, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, so I'm laying on my friend's couch staring at the ceiling, and I don't know if it was because I was having a really bad trip or it was just a near-death experience, but this demon pops out of the ceiling and just starts talking to me. And I'm like, "Hey, Mr. Demon, how you doing?" I'm having a normal conversation with this demon here, and it still haunts me till this day because I don't know what was in the. I don't know why I was having this visual psychedelic trip.
Yeah, because usually ecstasy usually doesn't do that like that. Like you'll get a trip, but it's a different trip. It's more like fluttering and things like that, not like visual things. That sounds more like acid.
Yeah, I don't know if it was laced with acid or what was up, but this pill was kicking my ass. And all I see is this demon pop out of the ceiling and it's like whispering evil thoughts and set the house on fire and
you set the house on fire?
No, it's like the demons telling me these things. Like,
you set the house on fire?
Yeah, go rob your friend, grab a knife, stab everybody in the house. And I'm just like laying on this couch, and you know me from the comment section, I'm a bit of a troll. So I'm just looking at this demon and I'm like, I'm too high to fucking stand up and get off this couch. Give me like an hour, maybe. I'm just having a regular conversation with this demon. And I noticed when I started panicking that my heart was racing really fast, is when the demon would show itself. And as soon as I calmed down and acted, normal, like nothing's gonna happen. You've been through crazier stuff. You're not gonna have a heart attack. You'll be all right. The demon would go away. But as soon as I went back into a panicking, fear-based state, the demon would come back.
No, that's no good. I've never had anything like that happen. I've definitely rolled many times on XC, but yeah, don't take this as promoting drugs or anything, guys. Drugs are bad. Stay away from them. They definitely ruin your fucking life, and it's better to just stay away from them.
I almost died that night, guys. It wasn't a smart idea.
No, that's no good. That's definitely no good. Yeah, because when you start getting to the point to where you're like I've taken shrooms many times and seen a lot of shit, but I always had a good time because I always went into it with a good, clear mind, and that's the way you got to do it. If you're gonna trip, you have to go into it. If you have some problems, you need to deal with them before you trip, because they will come out when you trip. That's why it's better to go into it with a clear mind, a happy mind. And that's how I did it every time. And I always had good friends around me and good people. And so it was always a good time. But that being said, though, it's better to just be healthy, eat good nutrition, drink lots of water, fucking exercise, and get high on that, because that's a whole nother type of high that actually does good for you.
Yeah, being in control of your life. I've been sober for 3 years now, and it's
Good for you.
definitely the best feeling. Just not being controlled by anything and not being dependent on anything, always looking for money or the next high or
Well, yeah, because that's how eventually goes. Eventually it everything's always fun and games in the beginning, right? It's always great in the beginning, but it always leads, especially, if you continue down the path, it always leads to chasing. It always leads to you needing more money. It's always fun and games till somebody gets hurt. Damn right. And I've
carry
seen a lot of
knowledge from the back.
She did, yes. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people hurt, so it's definitely not a good thing. Why would you put nerds in your mouth? I think you needed all right, guys, so this is the end of the live. ZOROASTER, thank you for coming. I appreciate you joining, and maybe we'll get another mod on here pretty soon. And thank you everybody for Thank you, everybody, for joining with us tonight. Thank you for all the donations. Thank you guys for all the members. You guys are awesome, man. You guys kicked ass tonight. We really appreciate it. Like I said to the patrons, watch for the giveaway coming up, because you're good. Whoever wins is going to, you have to enter, and then whoever wins is going to have to let me know what knife they want from Mojave Outdoors. They can pick whatever knife they want from that site, 1 or 2 knives, whatever. And there'll be 3 winners. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, thank you guys for hitting the like button. And if you haven't done that, do that now. I would really, really appreciate that. I'm even going to hit my own like button, because I do that. Thank you guys for joining. I love you guys. Peace.